Hi, Laura here, and today we are going to be doing a Pilates tower workout using the rollback bar, the leg springs, and the arm springs. So this is also a Pilates workout that you can do on a springboard or a wall unit as well if you don't happen to have a Cadillac or a tower. And I'm also curious to know, this is my first time putting a tower workout on my YouTube channel. What type of equipment are you working out on? Do you want these to be springboard friendly? Do you want to see the push through bar next time? Let me know what you would like to see and I'll create more content for you. If you're new to my channel, my name is Laura. I'm a certified Pilates instructor and personal trainer, and we are going to go ahead and get started with the rollback bar. So if you don't already have that set up, go ahead and set it up from the top of your tower or wherever you like it for your springboard, and we're going to go ahead and get started with some rollbacks. Now, as you get started with your rollbacks, go ahead and take your feet up against your pipes or to the corners of your springboard. Sit up as tall as you can, roll those shoulders down your back, and already start by pressing that rollback bar down just a couple inches. And as you push the rollback bar down, see if you can lift your spine up a little bit taller towards the sky. From here, take a big inhale. And then on the exhale, you're going to start to tuck the tailbone underneath you and to roll downwards towards the ground. If you started with your knees bent like I did, they'll straighten out as you lay down. Your head hits the mat. Go ahead and make sure those shoulders are rolled into your back pockets, opening up your chest. And then exhale, chin to chest, roll yourself forward into that seated position. You're gonna roll towards the pipes or towards the wall, and then restack yourself back up, still keeping a little bit of tension in those springs, pressing down-ish towards your knees. And we go again, rounding backwards towards the ground, feeling that spine lengthen along the mat as you lay down. Open chest at the bottom. And then tuck the chin to your chest, pull the stomach back as you try to resist yourself back forward towards the pipes. Restack that spine up, and we go again. 2 more times like this. As you roll back, see if you can stretch those feet into the pipes more. As you roll forward, your skull is trying to reach forward towards the pipes, but your lower back is trying to reach backwards. And 1 more articulation like this. When you sit up tall, I want you to check that the shoulders are stacked over those hip bones. And from here, we're going to go into some lat press downs. Exhale, press the bar downwards towards your shins. Inhale, let the bar come up just to about shoulder height so you still keep that tension in your arms. And again, your armpits help to press the bar downwards as your skull grows to the sky. Resist it back upwards towards the ground. The exhale takes the bar downwards. The inhale is going to lengthen it and your spine back towards the sky. Give me 3 more times here. I like to give a little bit of a pause with that bar when I hit my lowest point. And I just want to make sure that as my bar comes downwards towards my shins, that I'm trying to keep my shoulders out of my ears. I'm going for about 6 to 8 repetitions. And then once you hit that last one, end with those hands in line with your shoulders and then roll yourself downwards towards the ground. As you roll down to the ground, you're going to stay on the floor. I want you to pull that bar into your chest, wide row, and then resist it forward for 3. Exhale, pulls the bar in. Inhale, takes it out forward. After that last one, you're going to curl up into your half curl. So your lower stomach pulls backwards as you're looking forward in between the pipes or towards the wall. We go 3 rows to the top here. Pull that bar inwards towards your chest without popping out that rib cage. Widen those elbows to the sides as you pull that bar inwards towards your chest bone. And then after that 3rd one, you'll lay yourself back down onto the mat again. And then repeat, recycle that theme. We pull wide. As you pull that bar into your chest, you want to try to keep that back away from arching. So we're trying to plant that shirt flat along the floor or mat behind you. 3 to the ground and 3 in this floating position. As you're taking the rows in the floating position, we really want to try to stabilize the hips, stabilize the spine, so it's just the shoulder blades that are retracting. When you take those rows, we're connecting into the middle traps, lower traps, trying to keep those shoulders away from the ears in both sets of rows that we have here. I'm still active through my legs, trying to reach my legs through the pipes. And then after we've done about 5 cycles, this one for me is my last one, we're gonna meet laying down on our backs. The arms in straight, roll the spine down. And then like a trapeze artist, we're gonna go ahead and take that bar underneath our knees. So a little curl up for me, I'm tight in my back. I swoop those legs up and over the bar, adjust them so that they're about hip width, and then I'm gonna place my feet onto the floor. Once I'm here, trying to tighten my heels to my butt as much as I can, I'm gonna come into some bridges. Placing the palms down, tuck the tailbone underneath you, rise those hips to the sky, and then roll yourself on downwards towards the ground. When I teach these in my group classes, I like to remind my students that these bridges are gonna feel different than they do on the reformer. They're definitely less intense on the glutes and the hamstrings, but what I do like about them is that the pull from the springs is really helping to open up the front of the hips. So I guide them to try to reach those knees forward towards the wall when we're using the springboard, forward towards the wall, forward towards the springs, to allow them to get a little bit more opening through the front of the hips than they would when they're using the reformer. Every single piece of equipment has their own unique properties, their own unique benefits, and so that's one of the reasons why I do like doing my bridges here. I take a little pause at the top each time I find my bridge, really trying to connect into that glute contraction at the top. So you're not feeling nothing here. You are still working that booty. And then on the next one, we're gonna hold that bridge at the top. We're gonna go into some pulses here. Just a little inch release down and then press back up. Little inch release down and then press back up. And I like to take these slow and steady so that I can really maximize the amount of work and feel that I find in the backside of my legs. My stomach is still pulling inwards towards the back of my shirt to try to keep my ribs away from popping here. So I try to pull the stomach backwards and also think of my ribs trying to knit together. I'm gonna be here for 2 more times. And then after that last one, I'm gonna curl my spine downwards. When I pick up my knees to bring the bar in towards me, I'm gonna lift my head up, put my hands onto the bar, stretch the legs up to the sky, and now here's where we're taking our hundreds. Curl up with the head a little bit closer towards your thighs, and then connect to your armpits and start your pumps. Widen through the shoulders as you press down. Thinking of trying to reach the knuckles forward towards the pipes. And trying to press that bar downwards towards your butt bones. See if you can curl a little bit more forward towards those springs. And then after that last one, hook your knees onto the bar, widen the elbows like a rolling like a ball sensation. We're gonna rock back and then forward to the top. And again, rock yourself backwards and forward. So I'm holding onto the bar the way that I would hold onto the front of my ankles for rolling like a ball. I'm just getting a little spinal massage here. Using the stomach, not the springs, to bring yourself up to that seated position. And even though we have those elbows bent and we're rounding forward, we're trying to keep the shoulders down. One more time here. And then after that last one, you're going to take yourself out from the trapeze. I put my hands in the middle and then take my legs out and around, and then curl yourself back up. When you come back up, maybe you've slid around like I did, you're going to go ahead and take your feet back onto the pipes. Going into our single arm roll back with the side bend stretch. Hand comes across the stomach. Opposite hand goes, I'm starting with my right hand on the bar, left hand coming onto my stomach. Roll yourself downwards towards the ground. Once you have your head down, make sure that shoulder is down as well. Your hand opens to the side and then windmills around to the opposite side of the table. Take your left leg and reach it long towards the pipes. And just breathe into this side bend stretch. We're just going to do one each side. After about 3 breaths, unhook the feet, left foot to the pipe or left foot to the wall. Spiral that hand back across your belly and then curl yourself back up to a seated position and exchange the hands. Left hand on the bar, right hand around the stomach, and we roll backwards. Use your stomach to help you roll back, articulating that spine down onto the floor. Open up the chest, make sure those shoulders are back. Right hand opens to the side, upwards towards your ear, and then we start to side bend to the edge of your mat. Once you have your hand along the edge of the mat, stretch that right foot over. Try to give it a hook like you would in the snake. And 3 deep breaths here. Trying to keep the hip bone square. Notice if you're twisting. I like to make sure I can feel the back of my shirt onto my mat. And after you finish 3 breaths, unhook the foot, uncircle the arm, square off your shirt, and then curl yourself back up to a seated position. All right, your roll back bar is going to go to the side. If you need to change it because you use these same springs for your arm springs, go ahead and exchange that. We'll use that in a little bit. But we're moving on to our leg springs next. Laying down with your head towards the wall, your head towards the pipes of your leg springs. I like to set myself about an arm's distance away. Once you're there, grab onto your leg springs. Let's go ahead and put those loops onto your feet. All right. With the straight arm position, I like to think of myself pushing into my arms like I'm pushing into a handstand. And I'm going to go ahead and start with a frog. Press out across the room. And then slow, 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 bring those legs back into home. We're heels together, toes apart for that frog. And as my legs push away, I push into my arms a little bit more. And then as my legs come back home, I still continue to press, press, press into my arms so that I'm always constantly working that handstand position. I have equal tempo to press my legs out and also to return home. And I think of my inner thighs and glutes trying to press my legs away from me, but using my stomach and my tailbone to resist the legs back in. On your next time out, go ahead and hold your legs out. We're going to do straight leg lowers and lifts. Lift them upwards towards the sky. I like to keep that Pilates V, and then press the legs downwards towards the ground from the back of your legs. Your legs come up to the ceiling. Try to keep tension in your springs. And then from the back of your legs, resist them back towards the floor. The legs try to pull together. I like to think about hugging the inseams of my leggings together as I pull up and down. And I like to go up and down kind of in this 2-2 or this 3-3 tempo. So it's down, down, down to the ground, and then lift, lift, lift to the sky. And that for me creates a little bit more work through my legs. We're going to be here 2 more times. Check in with your shoulders. Notice if they've started to shrug. And on your last time, we're going to hold the legs at the 45. Open the legs for your hip openers or your splits. Flex the feet and then bring those legs back in towards one another. Check in with your stomach. Notice if it started to loosen towards the sky and see if you can try to brace it inwards towards your spine. I like to think of my legs coming back together like they're coming in like a zipper teeth coming together and zipper teeth spreading apart. We're going to go one more time here. Then bend the knees in. Go ahead and rest those hands there if you need a break for them. And then your hands are going to come back onto the pipes. Exhale, press the legs out and away from you. From here, we're going to go into heel beats. Beat, beat, beat those heels together. Just a little open close. And as you open close, try to keep the steadiness of your springs. We're going to do continuous beats today. Sometimes I also like to play around with breaking them into sets of 8. But here for today, we're going to go to continuously for about 32. Usually I do 4 sets of 8. Last 2 here. Bend the knees in. If your wrists need that break, go ahead and take that break. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and press back out into those straight legs again. Now from here, we're going to do crisscrosses. So one thigh bone over the other, and then switch and switch. Once again, trying to keep those springs steady as we go thigh bone over thigh bone to really control through the inner thighs, hamstrings, and glutes. This is another one where you can break it up, play them into sets of 6, sets of 8. And we're going to go continuously again. Here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs together, bend the knees in, and then hands can come down if you need that break. Coming back with those hands onto those pipes, reset that handstand position. That just helps me to get into my back a little bit more. Press the legs out, and now we have leg circles. Take the legs up to the sky, open them wide, bring them down, in and together, legs up. I am really feeling my legs here today. I feel like it's been a while since I've done leg springs. Every time we bring the legs together, you just want to make sure those heels kiss evenly. They stay together through the center of the circle, and then you separate them out and away. We're going to go 2 more times for 8 circles total. Going smooth, intentional with our movement, so I don't like to go super fast here. Once you get at the 12 o'clock of your clock, we press it down, open wide, up and together. Down, open, up, in and together. Still trying to make sure that my shirt and my tailbone stay heavy on the table, especially here on the leg circles. My butt can sometimes float up, so I'm just trying to be really conscious of making sure that what's supposed to stay connected to the mat is staying connected to the mat. One more time here. Once you finish those 8, bend the knees in, take those leg springs off. Leg springs are coming off. Go ahead and just relax them onto wherever you have them. And then reach your legs long. We're going to go into a roll up here. Take the hands up to the sky, tuck your chin to your chest, roll yourself forward and up, and reach forward to your toes. Give those hamstrings a little stretch. Mine were working a lot. Hopefully you felt yours too. And then roll yourself on down. And again, exhale, chin to chest, roll it forward. And then when you come back down, imagine that you have that roll back bar in your hands and you're resisting the springs to come back down to the earth. We're going to go 3 more times. Stomach pulls in, resist the springs to come up, imaginary. And then resist your springs to come downwards towards the earth. As you come forward, that stomach pulls backwards towards the pipes, towards the wall behind you. And as you roll downwards, think about trying to reach your arms away from you towards your toes still, even though you're going to lay down towards the floor. One more time here. Once you finish, adjust yourself where you need to for your arm springs. I'm going to go ahead and take my arm springs into my hands. And then once you are where you like to be, I'm going to have my feet hip width apart, heels in towards my bottom. And when I reach my hands out, I'm going to find my Goldilocks spot where I already feel a little bit of tension in those springs. I'm going to keep tension the entire time here. Tailbone heavy. I like my spine in neutral here. Press the hands down on the exhale, hold them towards the ground. We pause, 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 and then resist your hands back to your Goldilocks spot. And again, press downwards with the inhale, reach the hands a little bit longer towards your toes, and then resist the hands back upwards towards the sky. So I do in my classes like to play around with tempo, having a little isometric hold at the bottom of that pool to really light up the back of the shoulders and your triceps. As you press down, just make sure that your head is pretty light. Sometimes when I see people trying hard, I notice that they're digging their head into the ground, maybe even trying to look back behind them. But I want your eyes to be facing upwards towards the ceiling. As you press down, see if you can still maintain that connection inwards towards your stomach. Notice if your ribs want to flare, if you have that connection of your shirt onto the floor. I try to keep my upper back and my tailbone heavy here. As I mentioned, I do for myself like to keep a neutral spine here. Play around with having a pelvic tilt if that feels good to you. But I feel a pretty strong connection to my lower stomach here, even in that neutral position. We're gonna go one more time, should put us at around 10 presses here, 10 straight arm presses. And then on your last one, I want you to hold the bottom and we go little circles here. Little circles about the size of a tennis ball. Check in with your head. See if you can stretch those arms a little bit more forward towards your toes. Last 2 circles. Check in with your hands, make sure they're still low by your hips, and then switch directions. One more circle here. Take the hands up. You can relax them if you need to. And then we're going to go ahead and settle those elbows down to your sides. Open up that chest as we get ready for our triceps. I'm going to switch my legs so that my legs are together here. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and press down, hold, resist up. Once again, playing with that tempo, we exhale, press out, hold, make sure all that air is out. Inhale, return back home. Try to keep the elbows connected to the mat as you press downwards towards the floor. Sometimes they'll want to float up in order to help you get your hands a little bit lower down to the ground. Not super important to go for range of motion. More important to hold that upper arm bone lengthened along your shirt so that your shoulders are open and that elbow stays in line with you. One more time here. And then we're gonna go pressing down on 1, in on 3. It'll look like down on 1, up, up, up to the 90. Press out on 1, up, up, up to the 90. One more time here. And now we're gonna go down on 3, up on 1. When you're ready, it's down, 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 return home. The key here is to not let the arms just slingshot back. You still have that connection through the back of your arm, your connection into your triceps. 3, 2, 1, up on 1. 3, 2, 1, up on 1. Last one here. 3, 2, 1, up on 1. Straighten the hands to the sky. Now here, arm circles, big arm circles, final one here. We press the hands down to the ground, open to the side, back opener, and then forward up. Press down, open wide. Tricky part here is to bring the hands up while still keeping spring tension in your coils. Try not to let your springs make noise. Try to keep activity in the backside of your shoulders and your arms. As you press down, the shoulder head still stays open, collarbone still stays open here. And if you've opted to have your legs together, notice if they've started to get soft. Really squeeze them with intention. Switch directions. We open, pull, and then lift, lift to the sky. Check in with your shirt and make sure that all 4 edges of your shirt are connected. So sometimes when one arm tries to dominate, it can make you twist your shirt, twist your spine for the arm that's being the boss. So you just want to make sure that all 4 corners, all 4 edges of that shirt are heavy. One more time for 8. And then once you finish your arm circles here, go ahead and relax the springs down. And then you're going to rock yourself up to a seated position, just a transition. Once you transition, pivot yourself to face the opposite direction. I'm going to go ahead and grab those arm springs back into my possession. Lay yourself down onto the ground. So for here, we're going to go into our abs series. You want to be able to have tension on your hands when they press down, but also when you curl forward, you want to be able to have a little bit of tension to help assist you in holding that C-curl position. So place yourself in a spot that feels good for you. I'm going to scoot myself a little bit more back. And then once you're in a position that you like, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Press the arm springs down a little bit. Lift one leg into tabletop, then the second. And from here, we go into our single leg stretch. One leg out, one leg in. And then switch, switch. Try to press the hands down a little bit more and keep trying to curl yourself forward towards your knees. One more each side. Double leg stretch next. Pull the knees in, then stretch the legs long. As you press your legs, you might have to play around with how low those legs can go. I want your lower back to stay connected towards the floor, your collarbones to stay open. Notice if your hands have started to want to twist to help you hold those springs. We're still working that back body, so your palms are facing down. One more here, hold the legs, split into your scissors, and then switch and switch. I hope you're shaking because I'm shaking here. I know you can't see my vibrations through the camera. Try to pull that shin bone upwards towards your same side shoulder. One more right side, one more left side. Bring the knees in. I need a little break before my last one here. You're gonna stretch your legs upwards towards the sky. Head, neck, and shoulders lift up. Double leg lift lowers. Legs come downwards towards the earth. Exhale, lift. Downwards towards the earth. Exhale, lift. We've got 6 here. That's 3. Try not to let those springs pull you. One more time here. Then hug the knees in and rock yourself up to a seated position. Go ahead and relax your arm springs onto the wall. And if you need to exchange them for your rollback bar, go ahead and exchange those arm springs onto your rollback bar and set them up for a kneeling chest expansion. Once you've got your rollback bar set up for kneeling chest expansion, knees are about hip width apart, your feet are flat onto the mat. Take your hands onto your bar and adjust yourself as far as you like for your chest expansion. We're going to pull the bar down towards your thighs. Hold it here. Look over one shoulder. Look over the opposite shoulder. Look center. Resist it forward. And again, inhale, pull it back. Look one way, second way, forward, exhale, resist it out. And again, reach your knuckles downwards towards the ground as you take that chest expansion. Trying to keep the shoulders squeezed together as you're holding that bar to your legs. That tailbone is tucking long ways towards the ground. So you just want to make sure you don't have too much of a pelvic tilt here. We're not rounded scoop. We're lengthening that sacrum towards the ground. One more time here. And then if you like to scoot back for your thigh stretch, go ahead and scoot yourself back a little bit. Arms are going to be straight here. Still have that slight tuck of your tailbone, little tuck of your chin. And we're going to go into our thigh stretch. Lean yourself backwards. Keep your bottom off your heels. And then exhale, pull yourself back up forward, trying to balance yourself right over your knees. And again, inhale, we take it backwards. My chin is tucked slightly. I'm opening my chest. I think about trying to break that bar in half to keep my chest bone long, and then resist yourself back up on your exhale. Stomach stays pulling in. You have your rib cage into you. We're not quite back bending yet today. And then after your last one, which is your next one, we're going to hold it. Bend into your chest for a row, keeping your spine steady, and then extend. Bend, extend. We're going to go for 10. Try to keep that stomach holding in. Your butt's engaged. You should feel that stretch through the front of your thighs. Shoulders stay down as you find that pull. Your spine should be unmoving. Elbows and shoulders are what's doing the movement. And with straight arms, exhale, press yourself forward. And we're going to go into water wheel next. Take your hands, press them downwards towards the ground like you're getting into this angry cat shape. Pull the bar inwards towards your knees. Glide it up to your chest so that you're in that row position you were just in. Straighten the arms and bring yourself forward. And again, dive the knuckles downwards towards the floor. Once you're here, make sure you have an angry cat back, knuckles hovering, press it back towards your thighs. Tuck the tailbone underneath you, lean back to that thigh stretch, pull into that row, stretch the arms, lean the body forward. One more time. Round it forward, scoop the stomach, try to find an angry cat back, press in, lean back, pull back, straighten the arms, exhale, bring it forward. Reverse direction. We lean it back. Pull it in, press the bar down your body towards your knees, and then float it forward under your shoulders. Once you're here, tuck the tailbone under, return yourself to tall. Lean back for your thigh stretch, pull into your chest, push down to your knees, to your thighs, and slowly out. Tuck that tailbone underneath you, restack up to a tall position. Last one here. We lean, pull, press down to the knees, resist out under shoulders, and then resist yourself back up. Relax that roll back bar along the wall, and then take a child's pose stretch for me. Your hips go back, your arms come forward. Your hips are in between your feet. I like to keep mine about hip width apart. Take both hands over to one side. Taking both hands over to the opposite side. Bring your hands back to center, to that neutral child's pose position. Once you're here, tuck the toes underneath you. Lift the hips upwards towards the ceiling, so you're in a pike or a downward dog position. Stretch the heel bones to the ground. We're going to start to walk the palm prints towards your toes. So we walk the hands back, back, back towards your feet. Hang your head heavy. Start to roll yourself up to a standing position so the tailbone tucks under. Your hands reach forward to the wall as you start to restack yourself up. Your hands reach upwards towards the ceiling. Open the hands to the outside, and then exhale, press the hands down, down, down to the ground, and you end class as your tallest self. So great job, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that tower workout. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, let me know what you are working out on so I can keep making videos for you. I hope you guys enjoyed that workout. You should be feeling good in your spine, but also worked in your legs, your core, and your arms for a full body workout. If you're not already subscribed to my page, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you can see when I put up new videos. And let me know if you would like to see more mat videos or more equipment-based videos, because I am here to share my love and knowledge of Pilates with you. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a good one.